very good morning to Jane Westaway. Hi, Jane.
Hi, and a good virtual morning to you too.
There you go. It's the way we roll right now. Count the Ways is by Joyce Maynard.
Yes, it is. And I picked it from the list on very foolish grounds. She was the young woman who had what we probably euphemistically call a relationship with Salinger, who obviously, he wrote Catcher in the Rye, and she sought him out to help her get into writing, and he helped her get into more than that. And I suppose I remembered her name. She's written a memoir of her relationship with Salinger, and I thought, well, she probably learned to write, and I think the upshot is that she didn't. Well, that's far too sweeping, and it's not fair. Yes, of course she can write sentence by sentence, but I feel like there were just too many sentences. She's an overwriting fiend. Let me tell you a bit about it. Well, first of all, you need to know she's a New York Times bestseller. And what I always say at this point in these kind of reviews is that once people reach bestseller status, nobody wants to tell them to take their manuscript away and tighten it up. Nobody wants to edit. They leave it to the writer. So here we are, 450 pages of a family saga, focusing on a woman called Eleanor. This is American, of course. And it's a life story, really, from her teens with all sorts of flashbacks. I mean, this writer never gets on with the story without giving you a huge flashback first. Her every episode is held up by inventive, yes, but you just think inventive details, but please get on with the story. And what really irritated me was that she ticks every box. Let me count the ways. We've got rape, we've got public shaming, we've got a transgender child. What else? AIDS comes into it. She's gone through from the early 70s until, 20 or 30 years later, and ticking every box. She also reminds us what's going on in the world. Like we've had the Kennedy shooting, and we go right through John Lennon shooting, all that. She brings that into it, but in an unconvincing way. It's as if she's trying to ring every bell for the reader in the reader's own private world to make it seem like this is a book for everyone. And that, for me, killed it. We've also got music mentioned in detail, the music people were listening to at the time. It's almost encyclopedic. Well, you can tell I didn't really enjoy it.
Is there a plot?
It's not what you'd call a plot. It's just incident after incident, some of them very minor, some of them catastrophic in this woman's life and how she lives with it. And I can see why this sort of thing sells. And I'm going to sound so snobbish now, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is not literary fiction. This is airport fiction. And some people adore it, but for me it was tedious. And
even as airport fiction, it struggled to hold you? I mean, the thing about airport fiction is its simplicity.
True.
Allows you to just keep reading. It's the whole point, to keep turning the page until your plane lands or whatever. And did it struggle with that test as well?
Well, it did for me. If I'm going to read what we call airport fiction, let's have a thriller. Let's have some bodies. Let's up the tension. I know what it is. Let's have something at stake. What was at stake in this book was just the survival of an ordinary woman through life's ups and downs. And at the back, there's a long section of acknowledgements. And one of the things Maynard says is that she's so gratified to receive so much mail from people, and I would want to say women, who have read her book and say they found it helped them deal with their lives and that she might be writing just for them. And I thought, that's what you're trying to hit. You're trying to do the Something for Everybody novel. And,
okay. So certainly didn't work for you.
It didn't, I'm afraid, no. But some people it will work. Absolutely true. Some people it will, but not for me.
Jane, thank you for the honesty. Jane Westaway has reviewed Count the Ways by Joyce Maynard, which is published by HarperCollins.